Okay.
This is a true story from Paul Edgar.
This is a true story, and it happened probably back about I'll say around
Just make it
1995.
It's a good
And
year.
it's about a Wendel.
Wendel?
Wendel's about 3 or 4 years old, and
Who's Wendel?
well, Wendel is a buck deer.
Oh yeah.
And down around Bloomfield, I went to a friend of mine's house. His name is Frank Westfall, and I was talking to Frank. And Frank says, "You want to go up and see Wendel? Go up the road and see Wendel." And I said, "Well, we'll go see Wendel for." I didn't know who Wendel was. And he said, "Well," he said, "Wendel's about 3 or 4 years old, and so I go up and see him about once a week, and I ain't seen him this week." I said, "Well, all right. I don't know why you want to go see a 3 or 4 year old, but I'll go with you. We're just running around killing time today off work." So we drive up there to this old couple's house, and he gets out of the car, and I get out of the car, and he looks up on the hill and says, "There's Wendel." I said, "Whereabouts is Wendel?" He says, "Way up there on top of the hill up there's Wendel." And I said, "I don't see no kid up there." He said, "Ain't no kid. He's a deer." I said, "Oh, this deer's name is Wendel." "Oh yeah, right there he is, and he's coming down the hill." Here he comes down the hill. Wendel sees it. He hollered at Wendel and says, "Come on down, Wendel." And Wendel come down over the hill. Big old rack on him, big old tall rack. Looked kind of dangerous to me. I was getting kind of nervous. He just kept coming towards the car, and I started moving around to the back side of the car. He said, "Where are you going to go?" And he said, "Where are you going?" And I said, "I'm getting on the other side of the car because I don't know where I want Wendel to hurt me or not." I said, "I've been hurt before." He said, "Wendel won't hurt you." He says, "He's going to go in the house with us and watch TV." And I said, "Now come on, Frank, I know you drink a lot, but I didn't notice you drinking much today. Now you're getting out of hand." Now, "Oh yeah," he says, "we all go in the house and watch TV." So Wendel's got a favorite show. And I said, "Oh, he does he?" I said, "You know, Frank," I said, "I think I've caught you in a lie or two before, but this is about the worst one." He said, "No," he says, Wendel come right up there to me, and he said, "Wendel wants you to pet him." And I just barely reached out there and tucked his rack, and he just shook his head like that, and kind of bounced around there a little bit. And he says, "Wendel says you're okay." He says, "He decided he ain't going to hurt you." And I said, "You mean he would have hurt me?" He said, "Yeah, if he didn't like you, he'd have stabbed you by now." And I said, "Well, okay, I'm glad he likes me then." So we started walking across the yard, and here comes old Wendel walking right along with us, right up there to the front door. And Frank beats on the door, and this old lady comes to the door and says, "Oh yeah, come on in," and open the screen door, open that big door up, and then she opened that screen door up. And Frank went in, and I went in, and I let the door shut behind me. And she says, "Oh no, hold the door for Wendel." I said, "Oh," I said, "Wendel does come in the house?" "Oh yeah, it's getting about dark, and Wendel comes in and watches TV with it's bedtime." I said, "He does?" Yeah, he does." I said, "How did Wendel ever get this way?" She says, "Well, the game warden picked him up when his mom got killed somewhere, and when he was a baby and brought him to us. We raised him on a bottle. He just like the family. He watches TV with us every night. And this is serious to me, And I said, "Oh, well, okay." I thought they'd been drinking too, but I didn't know. I mean, we just got there. So we all commenced to sitting down there, and the old woman was adjusting the TV there, and she wasn't having it on the right channel. And Wendel just shaking his head like that, like that ain't it, And Frank says, "You better hurry up. Wendel's getting a little bit antsy." She said, "Wendel, get over and lay down on your rug and just take it easy here. We're going to get it over here in a minute on your show." So Wendel goes over, and he has this big rug that he gets to lay on. And he got a section of the room, it's his. He lays down on the rug, aiming towards the TV, watching TV, and by this time the old woman's got the TV on the right channel. We sit there and watch TV for about 2 hours with Wendel. And so it started getting late, and then people, go to bed at a reasonable amount of time. It had been dark for a while, and it was getting around deer season, so they don't want Wendel shot during the night, getting jack-lighted, They jack-light deers around here and kill them during the night with a gun and spotlight them, so they didn't want that to happen to Wendel, so they got this chicken pen out back behind the house that's tall enough that Wendel don't like jumping out of it. It's like about 6, 8 feet tall. So we got done watching TV, and his programs was off, and he got up, and I said, "Are you ready to go out to the pen, Wendel?" And he just stood there and looked at him, looked at all of us, and And so the old woman just walked right out the door, and I'm standing watching all this. And here comes, she held the door open. Here comes old Wendel right out the door, right behind her, right around in the yard there. Didn't have no sidewalk. Walked right around the yard, and around in between. They had an old shed back there, and had a, I don't know where it was, a chicken house or what. They had this big old chicken pen there. And she opened the gate and said, "Now get in there, Wendel. You know it's deer season, and they'll jacklight you and kill you. You don't, because you're too dumb. You stand there and watch them. Whenever the light goes on you, you don't run from them." He was real tame. He'd go to campgrounds around there or anything, go up and you feed him bread and potato chips. And Wendel wasn't afraid of human beings, and she just knew he was gonna get killed. So he got in the pen there, and she shut the door and locked it up. And I said, "Well, when does Wendel get to come out?" She says, "After daylight, or the sun comes up, we let Wendel loose, and he goes out and feeds during the day and runs around, but he has to come home every night around supper time. And then we watch TV until time to go to bed, and then I have to lock him up till past deer season," she said. And this went on for years with Wendel. And it was down there around Bloomfield, Indiana. It was a true story. His name was Wendel.
Well,
That's about it.
Well, that's enough.
Unless you got any questions? Any questions from the audience here? Any questions?
I'd like
I
to
mean,
know.
I can keep going here if you want.
I'd like to know.
I can add to it, but so far it's all been the truth.